Hey, how are you doing today? Happy Saturday. I hope you're doing well. I hope your weekend has been going well. If you're watching this live, I'm live right now on TikTok, or if you're seeing this on my YouTube channel, thank you for tuning in. Today, I wanted to come in. I got a few questions up front that I'm going to go over. And then I also wanted to talk about dating pools. And this is something that I came up with on my Facebook page, Coach B. Wiley on Facebook. And side note, I don't really post on there because I'm in a shadow ban. So if you want videos from me, you can watch them where you're watching that right now. And so dating pools, I talked about the different dating pools for women. I went over those and I was like, well, maybe I should talk about dating pools for guys. Now, I just came up with three quick dating pools. And what that means is when you're dating, let's just say literally, you're in a pool of water when you're dating. And so you can have the baby pool. You can have the pool to where you're up to 5 feet to where you can stand in it, and most adults are at least 5 feet. And then you have the part of a pool that's literally for deep divers. And you can only get in that side of the pool if you know how to swim. And you want to take a look around at who's in the water with you. Now, when I talked about the women who are in the different dating pools, if you're just tuning in right now, I'm just going to talk about dating, communicating. Right now, I'm talking about dating pools. Now, when I talked about the women's dating pool, I'll just bring up one of them, for example. For example, the low hanging fruit dating pool of women usually consists of women who have been single for a long time, women who don't get the guy, women who are friend zoned, women who actually don't know how to date because they're ignorant, meaning they were never educated on how to date. They were never taught this is what a dude does when he likes you. They literally are out here blind. This pool is overly crowded, and it's also filled with women who are desperate for attention, thirsty to get a man's attention. They're gullible, they're naive, and they have what I've deemed years ago the hearts in their eyes. Anytime you hear me say the hearts in their eyes, that means I'm speaking of a lady that is looking at a guy and she's just like, ay, ay, ay. And she is infatuated with him. She just wants this dude strictly on what he looks like, and she's trying to build on that versus actually getting to know him, versus actually paying attention to his red flags and moving along because this ain't the right guy. So, in this dating pool of women, it is the worst type of women. It also involves women who are delusional. A lot of women are delusional when they believe that they are a quality woman and they're not offering anything. They have excuse me, they have not worked on themselves. They do not love themselves. They are not worthy. However, they are ready and willing to yell at the mountaintops about how much of a good quality woman they are when they don't have any of the characteristics to show that. Now, I'm not bashing women. Of course, I'm a woman. Everything that I just named off, every characteristic that I just gave you, I used to exude. That's how I know what it looks like. I have been desperate. I have been naive. I have been thirsty. I have had the hearts in my eyes. I have been gullible. The list goes on. It don't skip over me just because I'm a life coach and I do this professionally. Absolutely not. How do you think I got here? Now, at the end of the day, do I have to be dogged out and go through my previous experiences to do this professionally? No. Just like when someone's in rehab because they've done drugs their whole life, that doctor, that coach that helps them never has had to do a drug in their life to help and be a professional in that field. So let's be clear on that. So now that you know what the dating pool is, the low level, low hanging fruit dating pool is for women, I wanted to go over three dating pools that are low level. One is low level, then we have a mediocre level, and then we have a quality level. I literally just came up with these right before I even came on to live. So when you have the low level, it's my favorite because I can spot this a mile away. Now that I've evolved, now that I'm smarter, now that I've had my experience, I've seen the experience of others, I sat my butt down in my pause for the call season, and I've really gotten to know who I am, what I'm worth, what I want. I know a cheater when I see one. I know a liar when I see one. I know a manipulator when I see one. it's just all over them. Like they don't have to say nothing to me. And these kind of guys, they don't approach me anymore. They'll see me and we see each other. But they do not approach, but they don't approach me, but they will look at me. And I remember the last time I saw a cheating dude, I was in the Family Dollar of all places. And all I did, he was with his girlfriend, and all I did was look over. You know how you look around, you out and about, you catch eye contact with strangers. That's all it took. And I was like, oh, he a cheater. He's such a cheater. And it's just like, dude, side note, a lot of women who are choosing to be with these cheaters. I saw this girl, I don't know, I was out and about again. I was at a store. And I saw this girl, and she was with her boyfriend. And he was walking behind her. And she made sure she turned her head all the way on backwards to make sure he was not looking at me. Now, I ain't saying I'm out here in these streets just like the most desirable, most beautiful woman any dude has ever seen. I'm not even saying that. I am saying she was watching her. She was watching him to make sure he wasn't looking at me or any other woman that was in the vicinity. And if you got a dude and you got to watch him like that, I'm gonna have another topic for you after I run down these pools of dudes. So all right, let's talk about the low level, bottom of the barrel guy. This guy used to typically be super attractive. But now this guy ain't got to be attractive at all by the standards of what attractiveness is in the world. He could be like the most regular, schmegular looking dude, or what some would say are unattractive. However, typically when you got that bottom of the barrel dude, he's going to look good, he's going to smell good, he's going to smile good, he's going to speak good. He's just got it all together. It's nicely packaged. It has the cute little bow on top. And it's like, how you doing? And he's going to know how to engage. He's going to know exactly what to say, how to approach. He's like a smooth operator a lot of the times. And so you see this, of course, you're interested in, because as humans, when we see something, we like to look at nice things. That goes with any human. However, low key, this guy has a pattern of being a cheater, and you'll know this because he'll openly tell you this. He's not going to lead with that, but just in conversation, when you're talking about relationships and you're getting to know each other, he will openly volunteer the fact that he has cheated. I've dated guys like this before, and I remember the last one who told me that something he had going on with his girlfriend. They were having some issues, and he said, and he was very much in a, what's the word for it? He didn't give a F about the fact that he was cheating. It was almost like he was bragging about it. He said something to the effect of, well, why she over here thinking it's all good to hold back from me? I'm across town handling my business and she don't even know it. And it was almost like arrogant. There was an arrogant undertone. And a lot of these guys are at the bottom of the barrel, have arrogance, they have huge egos, and they have more than likely not been rejected by a woman that they really wanted. And when you get into that, you get into a real red zone when you're dating a dude who has never been rejected and then you have to reject him. That's a whole nother video. So back to the bottom of the barrel guy. He has an ego. More than likely he has not been rejected. He usually gets what he wants when it comes to women and life. He is a cheater and doesn't really try to mask it or come up with a reason, which in my opinion, if you're going to cheat, that doesn't mean you're a cheater. However, if you have patterns of being a cheater, then we got a problem. I believe that you shouldn't put yourself in a position to cheat to begin with. Don't put yourself in that position and cheating won't happen. That's just my opinion. And then when we're talking about the bottom of the barrel dudes, of course, not saying that if he looks good, that he's going to be a cheater, because that's just silly. There's plenty of good looking people out here that ain't out here cheating. This other thing about this guy who's in the bottom of the barrel, it's, I wrote it down. I said it was one thing that I wrote down. Oh, he can be controlling and he can manipulate and he sees you as an opponent. He literally wants to always have a one-up. He wants to be smarter than you. A lot of these men who are at the bottom of the barrel in this dating pool, They will specifically go out and choose women who are at the bottom of the barrel, the low hanging fruit. They will go after those women because they know that they're smarter than those women, because those women haven't educated themselves, haven't learned from their mistakes, and they're just in this pool just looking to get picked. There are a lot of pygmies. They choose a lot of pygmies because they can control the narrative, and because that woman from the low-hanging fruit pool ain't used to nothing, she's just going to go along to get along just so she can say she have a man. Meanwhile, bottom of the barrel dude is over here uninterested, but keeping her because he can do whatever he wants with her at any moment, but he's still out there fishing in another pool of women, trying to find whatever it is he really wants. So if you're recognizing anything of what I'm saying, if you've been dating dudes in this bottom of the barrel freaking dating pool, you have to look at yourself and say, self, why is it that I keep dating this kind of guy that she's describing? Self, could it be me? Could it be something that I'm doing? My energy? Have I not learned my lesson? Why do I like this kind of guy? And I'm not blaming women on attracting cheaters. Heck, anybody can attract a cheater. It could be a woman that's totally involved and got it together and is smart and has learned her lesson, has done her work. You know, you can get that curveball. However, it's on you to still always look at self. Me personally, any kind of situation that happened in my life. I remember when there was a flood, guys. I was in a natural disaster. I'm not even kidding. I lost 90% of my stuff. I lost my car. I lost my townhouse. I lost everything that wasn't upstairs in my 2 bedrooms and in my bathroom. I literally had to rebuild like Humpty Dumpty. And guess what? I looked at myself like, what could I have done differently? You know what I could have done differently? I could have moved out of that townhouse before that happened, because I had already been having major issues in that townhouse months before that flood. Had I got out, I wouldn't have lost all my stuff. But it is what it is. And sometimes lessons are hard. And that is the hardest lesson I've learned in my 40s thus far. Hopefully they don't get no harder. Thank you, Jesus. So you just got to think about that. Now, am I going to beat myself up about it and just not want to live my life and not want to move forward and not want to replace what I can replace? Of course not. I'm going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. So if you're watching this and you tend to attract unqualified guys, don't beat yourself up about it. Learn from it and do better. Now we got the second guy, that's the mediocre. I laugh at this because there was a guy last year this time that I was dating, and I'm going to call him mediocre. And this is why. He's not a bad guy. He just wasn't the right guy. And so he's, all right. So when you meet this kind of mediocre guy, this means they're not out there trying to cheat and take from you and manipulate. They don't have no hidden agendas. However, they give themselves too many pats on the back. They throw themselves too many celebratory parties for things that they should be doing. But they want you to congratulate, standing ovation, give them a door prize for doing mediocre things, such as a mediocre thing is when a guy brags about how he's such a good man. And what does that mean? You have to challenge that. When someone says something to you and you're dating, you have to challenge that. What does that mean, B. Wiley? So I asked this brother, what does that mean? You're a good guy. Because he kept saying it. It was getting on my nerves. What does that mean, sir? So he told me, and a mediocre guy would tell you this too, that he's a good guy because he goes to the gym. He takes care of himself. He looks good. He takes care of his children. He pays his rent, he pays his car note, pays his own bills, doesn't have to depend on anyone. I said, that don't make you a good man. That makes you an adult. Like, why would I clap my hands and do some other business behind closed doors because you're doing what all adults are supposed to do? That doesn't make sense. And if you're meeting a guy like this, specifically who has children, and he lets it be known that he takes care of his kids. Let me beat my chest. Woo, 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 woo. I take care of my kids. It's just like, sir, sit down, first of all, because that don't make no sense. You're doing you're doing the minimum. You're doing the bare minimum. And that's what it is about these mediocre guys. They do the bare minimum, but they want to be praised like they done saved the world. And it does not make any sense. It's actually quite comical. It turned me all the way off. But thinking back on it, it's comical because it's just like, bruh, that's just like me coming on here with y'all and saying, well, y'all know I paid my light bill. That's why the lights is on. So what y'all want from me? I mean, what the, like, it just doesn't make sense. So when you're dating mediocrity, you have to recognize that. And also with that, on the flip side, you want to look at yourself and make sure you're not being mediocre and you're not a mediocre woman. With the things that I talk about, guys, it is okay to look at yourself. If you cannot self-assess, if you are unwilling to look at yourself, then we got bigger fish to fry. Because if you want the cream of the crop, you can't be down here slumming and being lazy and unwilling to do the work and unwilling to make the necessary tweaks. You know how challenging it can be to actually look at yourself and realize what crap you have going on that you shouldn't be doing, what habits you picked up on or developed over time that shouldn't be happening. But you have to have an emotional, stable, mature mind in order to make the necessary fixes, make the necessary changes, and fix what you can and accept what you can't, so that you then can attract what you want. Because guess what? Like attracts like. And if you don't like what you're attracting, perhaps you can change something, tweak something about yourself that will make you more presentable, more desirable when it comes to the person of the opposite sex that you want. That's just all I'm saying on that. Now, the last dating pool, the last pool of guys are going to be the quality guys, the quality men. You'll know I won't say you'll know, because a lot of women, because you've dated so many of the mediocre guys and the bottom of the barrel guys, you may not know what to do, and or you may not recognize a quality guy when you meet one. The quality men don't have nothing for you but action. That's what they got. And not kind of action you think I'm talking about. I mean, I'm going to actively call you. I'm going to actively be consistent. I'm going to actively plan dates. I'm going to actively introduce you to as many people as I can because I like you. I love being around you. We're months in. You should meet my friends. Let's see what they say about you. I'm going to actively reach out to you every single day because I want to actively keep open the lines of communication. And if we hit a conflict, we're going to we're going to actively talk about whatever it is, and then we're going to actively uproot whatever that issue and come to a resolve so we can actively skip down the yellow brick road hand in hand on to wherever it is we're supposed to go long term. And a quality guy, he has no hidden agenda. He is himself. He is an open book. You can ask him anything. He is not on the defense. Speaking of on the defense, I was watching Ready to Love. I forget where they're at now. Where are they now? Ready to Love. It doesn't matter what state they're in. But anyway, so I was watching Ready to Love. And one of the guys on there, he's a DJ / coach. I did not want to judge him because I'll be me. Like, it's just, I've done this for the last decade now. I've been in this coaching thing for a decade. And I'm just like, I pick up on stuff, even when I'm watching TV. So it said, he's a good looking guy. All right, so let me describe him. So he's a brown skinned man, black. Sometimes he wears glasses, but he has this big bushel of beard. And I was just like, ugh, here we go with that. Because ever since the dudes found out that women like beards and they just go crazy and thirsty and wild for beards, every dude who can grow a beard, even the chin strap dudes, be growing beards. And it's just like, it's so annoying. And I never want to put a guy in a box. But every time that first thought comes to mind, I'm always right. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, ooh, I don't think he's going to be a good guy. I first saw what he looked like, right? I didn't want to stereotype him. Then I saw what he did for a living. He's a DJ / coach. And I'm like, oh, my son plays football. Them football coaches be. The football coaches, I don't know what it is between FedEx and football. But them coaches they be having it going on. And so I'm just like, oh, God. And then he's a DJ. And I remembered off another Ready to Love when one of the girls was like, "Oh, you're a DJ, that's a red flag." And I really didn't understand why she said that, because I know several DJs, and I was just like, why would she say that? But I get it. I got it. So here we go. I didn't want to put him in a box. So I said, let him show me, like I'm on the show. Let him show me who he is. So as it goes on, he's on a date. Get it, guys. They're ready to love. They're on here dating each other, trying to get to know each other. And I literally talk about this in my book, Hello, My Name is Single. All right. So they're sitting there and she's just asking questions like, have you been married? He's like, yes, I've been married. Do you have any kids? He's like, no. She's like, how many times you've been married? He was like, I've been married twice. So then she was like, oh, that's interesting. So how long were you married? Isn't that a simple need to know question? Is that offensive to y'all? I don't think so. Soon as she said, how long were you married? Why you got to know all that? He got straight on the defense. And I was just like, that's a red flag. I literally say in my book, Hello, My Name is Single, if and when you're dating early on and you're asking simple questions like that, and if he gets on the defense, that is a red flag and you need to run. Because if he can't answer a simple question such as, how long were you married? Then what is he going to be willing to answer? It just doesn't make any sense. And so when he did that, he got an attitude and he just flipped. And so then she was just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna excuse myself. Then he says, yeah, you're dismissed. And I was just like, ooh, he got an ego problem. So he got the beard, the ego. He don't want to answer questions. He's a red flag. And it just doesn't make any sense. Like, dude, why are you really here? What is your motive? So you have to be mindful when you're dating. Don't put him in a box, ladies. But he's going to always let it play out. My mother told me one time when I dated this dude, like, shoot, we dated. Ooh, it was rough too. He was one that took me down through there. It was 2016 I dated this guy. And it was real bad. And then it got worse in 2017 when I dated someone else. And so because I didn't learn my lesson. And so she was like, give a dude enough rope and he'll hang himself. And I've never forgot that. And so when you're going into these dating scenarios, don't jump, don't assume, don't jump to conclusions. Just let it play out. And that takes patience. I'm not the person that came from a lot of patience. I'm actively working on my patience every day. I've come a long way because it's better to be quiet and have patience than run your mouth and bump your gums and tell all your business and be out here in these streets looking crazy. So when it comes to that and you're getting to know a guy and you want to find out, is he bottom of the barrel, mediocre, or quality? Just sit back and let it play out. That's all you got to do. So those are 3 examples of my guys who are in their dating pools. And I'm going to tell you my drink right now. So I'm drinking. I'm going to take a drink because I've been talking. I don't know how long I've been on here, but I said I was going to try to go as long as I could on this live. So let me take a drink. And then I'm going to answer a question off of Kira. So if you ever want to ask me a question, and you want to get a quick answer, I'll address it in a video. Feel free to put it in the comments. DM me. What else? All my links are in my bio if you ever want to reach out to me on email. Here, let me see if I can put that. Can I put that on here? I'm still learning about how to do this. But what's this? Y'all give me a second here. How do I put something? I don't know how to do it. How do I do this? Can I comment right there? Can I do that? Will it let me comment? Okay, I'm going to give y'all my email address. If y'all ever, hold on. If y'all ever want to ask me a question, there's my email address right there. Let me see. How do I pin it? Will it let me do that? Yeah, I'll pin it. All right, so there's my email address. If you guys ever, I hope I pinned it. I think it said I pinned it. If you guys ever want to ask me a question, askbwiley@gmail.com. You can send me a question there. But the first question that came up on Quora.com, that's Quora.com. Look me up, B Wiley on Quora. It says, I gotta sneeze, guys. Excuse me. It says, how should I respond if he says you're so sweet? You should respond by saying thank you. Number one, that's just common courtesy. But typically, if somebody told me you're so sweet and it's a dude, I think I'm being friend zoned. That's just me. Because that don't sound like he's very interested. If you told him you're very attractive, and he responds with "you're so sweet," that means he don't find you attractive. And I know you're not supposed to assume. I'm the number one to tell you I don't assume. However, when you give certain responses like "you're so sweet," and if he's not outwardly showing you that he sees you in a romantic way, you got to think, I'm in the friend zone. Trust me, guys. Listen to me when I say you're more than likely in the friend zone if that's his response. Or he might think you, or he might be attracted to you. He might think, "Oh, you so gullible. I'm gonna get you, girl." That might be his thinking too. All right. How do I reply to a girl who said, "Why do you love me?" If you're telling someone you love them, then you should have reasons why you love them. I ain't gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all. No, I am gonna tell y'all. I don't watched. It was Divorce Court with Judge Lynn Toller that stands out, and then it's also on Couples Court with the Cutlers. And women are willing. Now get it. They own the show because according to them, they know the dude is cheating. According to them, they done caught him red-handed, seen the text messages, seen the videos, but they're there to find out if he's cheating. Crazy, right? And so they're getting into it, and then one of the hosts, the judges, will say, because they won't stop saying that they love him, they ask him, "But why do you love him?" And they don't give any real solid answers. One girl, I remember, she says, "Because he's my superhero. He's there for me. He takes care. He's a good provider. He's a good provider. He's my superhero." But meantime, he was cheating. He was like cheating up and down and all around. But you're choosing to be with a dude that you love when he's in these streets. He don't love you. He love himself. If he's in these streets just being reckless, what is there to love about that? And why are you willing to be with a dude like that simply because he provides? Sister, I'm going to tell you something right now. Get your money up so you can provide for yourself, so you won't have to deal with what he bringing back home and all the drama that comes with that. So if someone is saying they like you and they're overly expressive about that, and or throwing in "I miss you," challenge it. Okay, what do you like about me? Okay, why you miss me? We just been talking for 2 weeks. What is that to miss? So you want to challenge that, because people will talk out of the side of their neck and they will say anything if they think you a fool. And so that's why you have to challenge what comes flying out of their mouths. And specifically, if you've been dating, of course, for a year, 9 months or whatever, and the word love comes out, you can inquire like, okay, so you love me. Great. What is it that you love about me? You just want to make sure that that person is not. Can y'all hear that? I don't know. I have a cat. I don't know where she is, but I can hear her. It's like like a bird. But you have to challenge that. You have to ask them, well, why? Well, and then if they get on the defense, then maybe their intentions aren't pure. Anyone who gets on the defense, speaking of defense, here comes the next question. How can one effectively communicate with someone who always has a comeback and is just defensive? Oh my gosh. You know what the worst kind of people to talk to? The people who are on the defense. I can't say that I've really had a lot of communication issues with folks who got some kind of a comeback, because I don't be coming for people. And then number two, I don't go back and forth with people. Generally, if you're going back and forth with someone, they're going to have like a comeback. But I have practiced and mastered the art of not going back. We not playing tag. We not playing ping pong. And we ain't playing none of that, because I disengage. I just quit talking, because why am I burning energy on that? And I advise you to do the same. If you know with someone, because some people like to argue. They toxic and it's just unhealthy, and they literally feed off of it. I don't want you to be that person. So if you're talking to someone who always has a comeback, you need to ask yourself, see, it always goes back. That's how I live my life. I always go to me first. I check in with me first. Like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Did I handle that properly? Am I acting a fool? Am I being toxic? Am I calling people names? Which I don't call people names. But if you're always dealing with someone, specifically if you're dating them, and they always have a comeback, like they're ready, like they've been loading stuff up in their pouch, and they just ready to throw it back at you. Soon as you say something, it's like bam, they got you. Then that is a problem. And another thing is when someone is on the defense, every time you bring something up, for example, let me see if I can give a proper example. Like you have a pattern of saying we're going to have date night, and then once date night comes, you somehow are tired, or there's some kind of excuse to where we don't have date night. Like it's becoming non-existent. That's the conversation. You see what I did? My tone is good. My delivery is well. My body language is cool, calm, and collect. And then what they say as a defensive communicator is, what are you talking about? I've been at work all day. Why are you even talking to me about this? Why can't you plan a date? What's wrong with you? Ain't nothing wrong with you. Oh, you're crazy. And then that's when you disengage. But it's just like, whoa, dude. Have y'all ever talked to someone like that and they're just on the defense? I know somebody real close to me. Well, and I mean blood. We don't have a close relationship, but we're blood related. And I quit going below the surface with them because they're on the defense about everything. And it's only with me. It's not with anybody else. It's literally just with me. Have you ever met someone like that who you're talking to them and you see, you witness, you observe how they engage with other people? And then when it comes to you, they got that fence built and they on the D. And it's just like, but what is it? And then you try to come at them at different angles and different styles, but they are who they are. And they going to come for your throat anytime they can. You just got to stop trying with those kind of people. And if you're dating someone like that, you can try to engage with them and let them know, hey, this is what I appreciate about you. However, you do get on the defense. I'm not sure why. Is it something that I'm doing? And because a lot of the times the defensive people, this is why they're the worst. They don't think that they're defensive. They don't see a problem with it. They're always on guard. And it's just like they're ready to knuck if you buck. And so there's no getting through to them. And that's why after trying once, because you always want to try, specifically if you're dating, you just don't want to throw in a towel. No, you want to try. And then after you see the pattern persists and that they don't see an issue with what they're doing, then that's when it's on you to decide, I don't have to take this. This isn't how I want it to be long term. And you know what? Actually, this relationship, this dating situation is not for me. So that's how you deal with someone who is on the defense. And I had another one here. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, because I tend to forget things. I've always forgot things, even when I was younger. I'm in my 40s now. And if I don't write it down, look, y'all, I got a whole notepad of stuff that I write down. And then even with my books, I write stuff down. Like, here's my book. I'm going to show y'all my book. And I'm updating this. So I released this book. This is my first book. You can get it at Barnes & Noble. But this is my first book that I ever wrote. It came out in 2018, the summer of 2018. And I'm writing a part 2 to this. So it'll be Hello, My Name is Single, Ready to Mingle. And it's coming out. And I'm writing. And what I do is, I'm sitting at my kitchen table because I don't have a desk anymore for my office. But here's the book right here. So here's my notebook. I got this from the Dollar Tree. And I'm old school. And this is my book. I'm writing it. So this is where I'm at. I do front and back. And I'm just writing. So this is the part 2. And I'll write. And then I'll then type it up. And then we'll get the book going. Side note, if you ever want to write a book and you're curious on how to write a book, I'm actually going to write a book about how to write a book and publish it yourself this year. I can do it in my sleep. But a lot of people ask me how I wrote my book. No, not how I wrote it, but how I published my book, because I'm a self-published author. I did try to get publishing companies here in St. Louis to help me. They absolutely did not, because I'm not a celebrity. They don't know me. I'm not from here, even though I've been here. Well, at the time I had been here. I've been here now. It'll be 13 years at the end of this month. But in 2018, I can't do the math right now. I was here for, I don't know, about 8 years or so. But they wasn't fooling with me. And one person, because this book, Hello, My Name is Single, it is about 100 pages. It's It's like, it's about 100 pages. So y'all see the book, right? Y'all see the spine. That's the spine. This is the book. This is the inside. So that's about 100 pages. Why did one of the publishers tell me that it's a pamphlet? It's not even a book. So I said, you show right. You show right. And what I did is I educated myself on how to publish it myself, and I put it out. And it was on Amazon, and I took it off of there. And this is just another side note. If you ever put a book on Amazon, be mindful. They're going to take a lot of your money, of your sales, versus you putting it on your website and you get all the money. When you put it on Amazon, it look big, bright light, shiny. Oh, my book is on Amazon. You think you hot stuff. However, they're taking a lot of the money. So if my book was like, I think it was like $10 or $11 that I was selling it on Amazon, I think I was getting like $7, around $7 for the sale of my book. And I know y'all like, well, that's $3. Yeah, that is $3. And they're getting, why would they be getting $3 from me when I wrote the book? It doesn't make sense. Like $1 or something, like 1%, I get, but let's not play that game. So anyway, that was your little sidebar. Let me take another swig, because then we're going to talk about, I got this other one about how to date in a nonchalant way. This is specifically for women. And I use the word nonchalant, and I should have looked up the definition, because when I think of nonchalant, I think of someone who is unbothered. It makes me think of a woman that knows who she is, that knows her worth, that knows her strengths, her weaknesses. She's aware of who she is. She's aware of what she wants. She's aware of her standards, her boundaries, and she recognizes game. And because of this, she doesn't have to jump out of character. She doesn't have to yell, roll her neck. She doesn't have to come unglued when a guy is doing something that is not working for her. She just recognizes it. She acknowledges it. She never stresses out about it because it's not worth it. For what? And she let that rope get shorter and shorter until it finally hangs them. And then she goes on to the next. I remember dating a guy years ago, and I've been told this more than once since I have evolved into who I am when I'm out here dating. I've been told more than once that I'm just nonchalant. Like, I just don't. And at first, nonchalant can be taken as, I don't care. That's how it can be taken as, I don't care. And I don't know the definition because I didn't look it up. I could try to look it up here on my computer, but let me tell y'all something. My laptop is ghetto AF. Sometimes it gives me what I need, sometimes it don't, but right now it's giving it to me. Okay, nonchalant, of a person or manner, feeling or appearing casually calm and relaxed, not displaying anxiety, interest, or enthusiasm. See, I had it partially right. So it can mean, no, it says you're appearing not to be interested or enthusiastic. Now, you don't want to appear to not be interested. You want to let that person know you're interested. However, you're not interested in that BS and the bogusness of the BS. You're not interested in that. So you're cool as a cucumber. You're not easily moved. You don't jump to conclusions. You're not mentally all over the place. You're not mentally in your head. You're literally meeting this guy, and you're allowing him to show you who he is. And when he does something that's off center, you ask him, you inquire, you watch his actions. Because sometimes, like I said, it's not all about him trying to come in and F stuff up and pick you up and put you down. Sometimes he's just unaware. And then sometimes he will have previously dated women that don't call him out on stuff. And so he's just running wild and don't even know that he's running wild. And so that's why it's okay to inquire and have conversations that need to be had. And so with this, you're cool, you're calm. If he call, he call. If he don't, you don't. You're not about to send him no long text message. You're not about to go off the rails. You're not about to go off the deep end. You're not about to accuse him for being out with Becky just because he didn't hit you up after he came from the bar with the boys. It's just like you rolling with it. And I wish more women would date like this, because you would save yourself a lot of stress. You would save yourself a lot more energy, and you would save yourself more sleep, because you would stop losing sleep over wondering and pondering over these dudes. And like I told that last dude that I mentioned earlier that I dated last year, I straight up told him, look, I'm not about to boggle my brain over you, over him, or over them. Like, do what you do. And I think that was one of the reasons why we got along so well, because I was totally different from any woman that he ever dated. He's a very good looking man, and probably the most best looking man I've ever dated this far. And with him, when you have looks like that and you're outgoing, you got great personality, it things can come a little easier for you, and it was easy for him, and he would easily get women in the bedroom. But then when he met me, it was like what he had been putting forth with the other women wasn't really jiving with me, and he would try to sneak something in there that's inappropriate, and I'd address it, and that would be the end of it. And then we would go off the rails to talking about things that mattered. And he did tell me that he had never done that with a woman before. He had never set up and talked to a woman. He usually just shooting a text, telling them to come over. But with me, he was required to take me outside in public on dates. He was required to call me and have conversations. He was not used to that. So the thing is, ladies, you must teach this dude how you need to be treated. And usually it's in your energy. I say that all the time. And then it's in your actions and how you carry yourself and in your conversations. And he learned a lesson with me because he wasn't the right fit for me for many reasons. He's not a bad guy at all, just not the right guy. But I recognized early on, this ain't gonna work. This ain't going nowhere. But I got good content out of it. I did a lot of videos last year, this time when I was dating him. And I thank him for that. And if I were to see him right now, I'd speak and keep it moving. He probably won't speak back because he is very bothered and he is very upset and was very upset because I didn't want to talk to him anymore. And here's the thing what guys need to know, and women too, you can't be upset with what somebody don't want. You're not for everyone. You're an acquired taste. You're for who they got a taste for you. And if you taste bitter to them, then you can't be bitter about it. You just move around. I'm not for everyone. A lot of the guys that I've liked previously, we're talking about years ago, it was not reciprocated. And the ones where it was, they had a hidden agenda. They had a plan for me, not to be with me long term. They planned on doing something else. So I didn't get back then I did. I did get bent out of shape. But once I learned better, I did better. And now I recognize a better quality of man. And so I'm not even attracted to the guys that I used to be attracted to. And those guys, even if they're attracted to me, they don't step to me. They'll speak all day. I see men every day, all day, everywhere I go. Good looking ones too. And they'll speak, but that's as far as they'll go. And it's on them. It's on their energy. And I'm not like no big bad wolf or anything. I still got lessons to learn. But I'm saying from the lessons that I have learned, game recognizes game. I don't know how long I've been on here, but let's do another question. Why do men like crazy? Why do men like crazy women? Because they toxic and they crazy themselves. Because why? Like attracts like. Why do some people make things messy and dramatic after ending a relationship on good terms? Because they need something to do and something to talk about. Like some people think everything got to be messy and trifling when it don't. Literally, people can break up just because it's not working. People can literally be together for 5 years and then wanted to have kids, agreed to have kids 5 years before, eventually 5 years then came. One party is ready to have a kid. The other party has decided they don't want no kids. And boom, ain't nothing you can do about that. You got to break up. Boom, you're broken up. Ain't no drama there. Where's the drama? Ain't no drama. Somebody just changed their mind and they have the right to do that. And then another thing, when we're talking about messy, some people just think and assume that you have to dislike the person that you were dating once you're done dating. You have it's mandatory. It's how it goes. That's my ex. We got to be ghetto. And it's just like, for what? We don't have to go ghetto. We don't have to get messy. We don't have to be dramatic. So if somebody is doing that, that lets me know their emotional intelligence is low to the floor. Because if we were all good, we broke up on good terms, we ain't never raised our voices at each other, called each other names, nothing like that. Then why all of a sudden when we break up and quit dating, we got to go ghetto and be loud and on social media and throwing out clothes out the window and taking baseball bats to windows and flattening tires and talking bad about folk. It don't even make sense. So let's just not do that because it's not required of you. It's not necessary. And you're burning too much energy being messy and dramatic when you could be using that energy to do something else. Oh, guys, I don't have on a hat today. Did y'all notice that? Did y'all notice I don't have on a hat? It looks like something's in my hair. So I've been wearing hats all winter. And so because I'm growing out my color here. So this here is obviously my natural color, but you see a little red in there. That's when I dyed my hair for Halloween. So it's that color is slowly, it'll fade out. But I haven't been the brunette that I was born to be in so long. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wear a hat so I can just braid, and my hair has gotten so long. You can't tell now because it was in a flat twist. So I put 3 flat twists in it, and I just put a scarf on it, put my hat on it, and I'll take it out to wash it, and then I'll braid it back. Like I'll wash my hair tomorrow, and I'm gonna braid it back down, and the hat will be back. And so it's just something easy for me to do. I don't have to worry about fluffing my hair out. I don't have to worry about doing it. I just put it like this, but I decided to take it out because it's dirty. And I was just like, let me just take it out and see what it's doing. So there you go. You got a surprise today. If you've been watching me, or if you just tuned in and don't know me, get to know me with plenty of my videos. I got plenty of videos here. Let me try to find one more question. Let me see. These questions is weird. Like some of these people come over here and the questions be so weird. It's just like, why are you asking me this? Is it a joke? Let me see. Here's one. Is it considered impolite? And a lot of these people aren't from America. So is it considered impolite to inquire about someone's relationship status? Absolutely not. And that's a good question, actually, because as far as asking about their status, because you shouldn't even be giving your number out to anyone. And I'll say this again. I said this before years ago. Treat your phone number. And here comes my lisp. I hate saying this. Treat your phone number like I'm going to try to make my mouth do the most to get this out. Treat your phone number like it's your social security number. That way you won't be out here in these streets all willy-nilly giving your phone number out to anybody who wants it. And before you give that number out, because you've treated it like such, you want to definitely find out if this man, I always look for the ring. At my age, at 40, in my 40s, I always look to see first, if he's wearing a ring. Here, I'm live. I'm trying to see something. So I got my, side note, I got my tablet down here. And I never thought to look at myself as I was going live. But I got my tablet and I'm going to see if it's going to bring me up to see what I look like. But because I don't ever go back and look at any of my videos. Unless someone is challenging something I said, I don't go back and look at my videos. Just for what? I just get on here, do my thing, and keep it moving. Oh, I can see it. I'm going to start looking at myself here. Because you can check to see how you look. And it's always good to see how you look, your facial expressions. Because when I first started doing this a decade ago, I did my first video January of 2014. And y'all, my face would be frozen. Like it wouldn't even be moving. It'd be like, hi guys, how are you doing today? I'm B. Wiley. And I would do that. And then my eyes would just be like, my eyes are naturally big, but they get real big. And I look like a skeleton, like the skeleton with the eyeballs popping out of there. It'd be look Halloween up in here. I would make these crazy faces. Then let's talk about the makeup. I'm no makeup artist, but my eyebrows have come a long way, guys. If y'all saw some of these videos from years and years ago, and sometimes I don't get it right now. I can have my days with my eyebrows on, right? But back then, my eyebrows was like Oscar the Grouch. They was like blocked and they were like blocked in. A mess. And so I leave the videos up because, hey, if you don't like it, don't look at it. But it just lets me know how far I've come. But anyway, like I was saying with this last thing, when you're dating someone, you want to definitely, number one, check for a wedding ring or a wedding, like a tan line, ring line. And then you want to outwardly, unapologetically ask them, are they married, single, engaged? Like, are you free out here? You single? Oh, how long you been single? And then they'll say, oh, it's been a minute. What's a minute, sir? Because a minute is 60 seconds. So 60 seconds before you met me, you was in a relationship. Like and you bring humor to it. And because you want to make sure he's single. Then when you give him your phone number, because he's single, he looking good, he respectful, he stepping to you right. So what I'd like to say is don't necessarily give him your phone number. Give him a number. So I have a Google phone number that I have on deck for guys that I'm just meeting. I'll give them my Google phone number. The phone number comes to me, and it's a number. However, it's not my St. Louis actual personal number. So that way, if it doesn't work out and I find out, poof, you're gone, and you don't have my actual number to like look me up, stalk my life, be weird, hunt me down, if that's what you're into. And if you're unsure and if you're new to this, go ahead and download an app if you don't have Google, because I got mine off Google Voice. If you don't have that, or I have an Android. So if you have another phone, you want to definitely go ahead, another kind of phone, you want to, like iPhone, you definitely want to look into apps to see what kind of number you can come up with. And it can be your area code. Mine is not my area code here in St. Louis. It's just a different area code. You want to go up and they let you create your own phone number. Create that phone number, and then when you feel comfortable, and if you trust this person, you've been dating, of course, for a while, you want to go ahead and give them your real phone number. But that's just something that you could do if you choose to, versus giving your same number out and these folks is calling. You got to block all these people, and that can become a hassle. So when you're out here in these streets, don't go giving your number out all willy-nilly. Try the app number. And then you definitely want to make sure this person is 100% single. And then once you get on that first date, you're going to do some more asking and inquiring about that previous relationship, how it ended, what they learned. I talk all about that in other videos. But to save yourself some time, you want to at least know that they are single. Of course, people can lie. Yes. However, you'll deal with that later. But as of now, you'll know you're going in with good intentions, and you'll know that this person, let me go back to this question and make sure I'm answering the whole thing. It completely started anew. It refreshed. But you definitely want to know the status of this person. And you want to make sure, I got to sneeze again. And you want to be sure that you know that they said to you that they are single. All right. I've been on here long enough. What time is it? It's 6:17. I don't even know what time I got on here. I wish there was like a ticker up here somewhere that would tell me how long I've been on here. So if you enjoyed this video, thank you for hearting the video. Looks like it's about 100 hearts right now. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for joining, following, and all that jazz. If you missed this video and you're just coming into the video, I'm going to upload this video to my YouTube channel. Link is in my bio. Coach B. Wiley on all the things. So if you want to watch it, feel free. If you want to buy my book, Hello, My Name is Single, that link is in my bio too. You can get that on Google Play as an ebook and or a soft copy on Barnes & Noble. The link is in my bio. If you have Google Play, just type in Hello, My Name is Single or Coach B. Wiley. My book will come up. Outside of that, if you want to book a session with me, do a one-on-one, because you need to go into depth about dating and relationships, and not relationships, but dating and communicating is what I meant. I do talk about relationships too. And under the relationship umbrella, I talk about your friend, like your relationship with your friends. Do you got toxic friends? What kind of friends are you hanging with? I can talk to you about your peers at work. I can talk to you about your relationship with your mother, with your cousin, with your siblings. I talk about all kinds of relationships under relationship umbrella. Most people that hire me are half of the people that hire me are in a relationship, and the other half are single and dating. So it goes both ways. I help both. You don't have to be single to hire me. You can absolutely be in a relationship, because this is what I do. I literally do this and have been doing this for a decade now. And then I went professional, meaning I got certified and started actually charging people money for what I do in 2020. So I've been charging people since 2020, actively just giving out all the free information you can get for the last decade. So outside of that, you want to book me, the link is in my bio. Go to mymentor.life. Type in Coach B. Wiley, but that link, you ain't got to type nothing. Just click on the link if you want me to help you, and I would be glad to do that. Other than that, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you later.